Today, we're looking at two really old fables that have a surprisingly modern message. They hold the key to one of the biggest puzzles in life: how to find contentment when the world is always telling you that you need more. So, let's get into it.
It's kind of a weird paradox, isn't it? We spend all this time chasing happiness, thinking it's just around the next corner, but the chase itself just leaves us feeling tired and, honestly, pretty dissatisfied. This question right here is really at the heart of what we're talking about today, and believe it or not, these two old stories have a pretty profound answer.
So, our first fable is all about something called the comparison trap, and we see it through the eyes of a very unhappy crow. His problem wasn't super complicated, but it was everything to him. He was just convinced that his plain black feathers were the root of all his misery.
Yeah, in his mind, the fix was simple. To be happy, he just couldn't be a crow anymore. He had to become something else, something beautiful, something that everyone admired. And this one idea sent him on a journey that, it was going to change everything for him.
And so off he goes. He's on this quest to find the happiest animal in the world. First up, he meets the swan. Now to the crow, the swan's pure white feathers are just perfection. He's totally convinced he's found the happiest creature alive.
But the swan's answer is not what the crow expected. At all. The swan tells him that its white feathers are actually a source of sadness, a constant, morbid reminder of coffins. The crow is just floored. The one thing he was so jealous of was actually a huge burden for the swan.
Okay, so still searching, the crow finds a parrot with all its amazing, dazzling colors. Surely this vibrant creature must be happy, right? But nope, the parrot basically tells him the same thing. Its green feathers, while pretty, just blend into the jungle. And as the parrot saw it, what's the point of being beautiful if no one can even see you?
So his journey finally leads him to the peacock, the symbol of beauty itself. This bird is admired, people take pictures of it, it seems to have the perfect life. But then the peacock reveals this terrifying truth. His incredible feathers make him a target. He lives every single day in fear of being hunted because his beauty is the very thing that puts him in danger.
So if being someone else isn't the answer, then what is? Let's switch gears to our second story and see how this all connects. This fable introduces us to a kind elderly woman named Amma and her hen, Poppy. And they're going to show us a completely different obstacle to contentment. This myth that we always need more.
Every single morning, Poppy laid one egg, and every morning, Amma would collect it and say this. Now think about that. It wasn't a wish for more things. It was a prayer of pure gratitude for having exactly what she needed. This is her entire philosophy, and it is the total opposite of the crow's.
Then one day, Poppy starts laying 2 eggs. The villagers, of course, they see a business opportunity. Scale up, get more hens, make some money. But Amma, she saw something else entirely. She just saw a surplus. So she kept 1 egg for herself, and she shared the second one. For her, wealth wasn't about hoarding, it was about sharing.
This one simple number, just 1, it perfectly captures her whole way of thinking. For her own needs, 1 was always enough. And this wasn't about living with less, it was about understanding what was sufficient. And that simple, powerful idea guided every single thing she did.
And it's in a moment of crisis that you really see the power of her way of life. A huge monsoon hits, and the villagers are left with absolutely nothing. But Amma's quiet habit of sharing and saving, it becomes a lifeline for everyone. Her mindset of enough suddenly turns into abundance for the entire community.
So what's the thread connecting these two totally different stories? Well, both of them are pointing to the same solution, a way to kind of reframe our own search for happiness. And it really all comes down to 2 essential keys.
So the first key, which we get from the crow's story, is to stop the constant comparing and start figuring out our own unique value. And the second key, from Amma's story, is to embrace this idea of enough and find joy in sharing whatever surplus we have.
And this is that powerful moment when the peacock finally lays it all out for the crow. He asks him, "Hey, has anyone ever tried to hunt you for your feathers or sell your meat?" Of course not. The crow, in his plain black feathers, was free, and he was safe. His real value wasn't in how he looked, it was in his freedom. He was the happiest one the whole time and just had no idea.
And this is Amma's wisdom, and it just perfectly sums up that second key. Real wealth, real happiness, it's not found in a bank account or a bigger house.
It's found in appreciating what's right there in front of you and finding a real purpose in being generous.
Okay, so these are fantastic stories, right? But how do we actually apply this ancient wisdom to our modern, super busy lives? What's the big takeaway for us right now?
When you really boil it all down, both fables are teaching us the exact same thing. The crow didn't need new feathers, and Amma didn't need more hens. What they needed was a new way of seeing the world. Happiness isn't some external prize you have to win, it's an internal perspective you have to grow.
And that brings us to the final question, one for you to really think about. You know, in the constant rush for more success, more stuff, more likes online, just take a second and ask yourself, what do I already have that is perfectly, wonderfully enough? The answer to that, well, it just might be the key to the contentment